Right now, the US is ratcheting up military actions in Venezuela. They're going to call it a war on cartels, a crackdown on drugs, protecting homeland security. But the pattern's always the same: bombs and foreign entanglements to distract you from the Epstein files and they take over. So Pete Hegseth, our Secretary of War, is doing extrajudicial murders without any due process. So they're going to deploy warships, submarines. They're going to talk about narco terrorists, but this is basically the same playbook we've been seeing since Margaret Thatcher in the Falklands. These are the little bullshit wars. Okay, Grenada, Nicaragua, Lebanon, because ultimately they're terrified of what's actually coming. People's health care is going to skyrocket, the Epstein files. And ultimately, it's like George Carlin said, America is an oil company with an army. Okay, so they've been eyeing the Venezuelan oil reserves for a very long time. And let's talk about this war on drugs. Because Hegseth is out bombing boats and declaring open season on narco terrorists while Donald Trump just pardoned former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, a man convicted of conspiring to ship literally tons of cocaine into the United States. Okay? Hernandez, so let's just let that sink in for a second. So much of this immigration crisis is driven by US interventionist policies. We destabilize entire regions, we create the conditions for the crisis, and then, you break it, you bought it. And these people just want a chance to live. No one wants to leave their home country. We've been doing it since 1954. Guatemala, the CIA overthrew a democratically elected government for United Fruit. 1973, Operation Condor with Chile, Argentina, Paraguay. A lot of blood on our hands for that. The 1980s, the more dirty wars: El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Uruguay. And let's talk about Venezuela, because right now they're ramping up pressure, talking about regime change, but this is nothing new. US sanctions were imposed by Obama in 2017. I'm sorry, by Obama in 2015, and then expanded under Trump in 2017 and 2019. They were explicitly designed to force regime change. Venezuela lost 99% of its export revenue. The GDP collapsed, health systems crumbled. And John Bolton, Marco Rubio have been talking about it out loud. So basically, the punchline is we engineer chaos after we turn an entire region into a pressure cooker for poverty and violence. And then we blame the survivors. We topple governments, wreck economies, arm dictators. And then when families flee the wreckage, Republicans call them invaders and criminals. Uh, Basically, this is a magic trick to shield the billionaires and corporations who profit from this destruction and scapegoat the refugees who are escaping it. And basically, it is a con. The crisis is empire. So when you're talking about narco terrorism, boat busting, immigration enforcement, let's not pretend it's about safety or morals. This is about supremacy. It's about oil profits, and it's about shifting the blame. So I want to point your attention before we get into our program. I just want to point your attention to a joint action that Turn Left is doing. If we can pull up that graphic, this is a joint action. We're asking people to write letters to Congress demanding that they pass a war powers resolution to prevent another immoral, stupid, expensive war with Venezuela. And so please go to that, and then we're on to our first guest.